Try to imagine waking up in the Pacific after a hurricane and seeing nothing but wreckage. Tami Oldham was 23, badly hurt, and the man she loved was gone. She didn't just survive the storm. She woke up after it, injured, grieving, and completely alone. Subscribe and let's get into the story. Tami was a young American sailor from California. She wasn't just along for the ride. She loved the ocean, knew her way around a boat, and had chosen this life on purpose. In 1983, she and British sailor Richard Sharp were hired to deliver a 44-foot yacht called Hazania from Tahiti to San Diego. It should have been a long, difficult trip, but not a deadly one. Then the weather changed. A major storm was building in their path, and out on the open Pacific there comes a point when you stop trying to win against the weather and start trying not to lose. As the sea turned violent, Richard told Tami to go below deck and strap herself in. He stayed outside with the lines. That was the last time she saw him. Then, the hurricane hit for real. A massive wave rolled the yacht, tore through the rigging, and slammed Tami so hard below deck that she was knocked unconscious. When she finally came to, around 27 hours had passed. The cabin was wrecked, the mast was broken, seawater was inside the boat, and Tami was bruised, cut, and barely steady. She called for Richard. Nothing. Then she saw his safety line trailing in the water behind the boat, and in that moment, she understood what the storm had taken from her. She was heartbroken, injured, and alone in the middle of the Pacific. But the boat was still floating, and sometimes in a survival story, that tiny fact becomes the whole reason someone lives. So she started with the ugly basics: pump out water, clear wreckage, keep the yacht from dying under her. Her hands were already raw, her body hurt everywhere, and there was no one else to help. Then she turned to the mast. With almost no strength left, she built a jury rig from whatever the storm had not destroyed. It wasn't pretty. It just had to work. And this was the next brutal truth. San Diego was out of the question. Hawaii was closer. So Tami pointed the broken yacht toward Hilo, still more than 1,000 miles away. And then the real test began. Days turned into weeks. Her lips cracked. Salt dried on her skin. The sun burned her. The silence got heavier. And every morning she still had to keep moving. She rationed food and water, watched the sky, and used charts and navigation tools to keep moving west. Think about that for a second. She had to sail, repair, and grieve at the same time. Some days, she talked to Richard like he was still there, not because she was pretending nothing happened, but because loneliness out on the open ocean can get inside your head in a very real way. And the ocean never really let her relax. The boat still leaked. The jury rig still strained. One bad mistake, one more hard hit, and everything she had fought for would still disappear. Then, little by little, the signs changed. Birds, different light, the feeling that land might finally be out there somewhere ahead of her. After 41 days alone, Tami sailed the shattered Hazania into Hilo Harbor in Hawaii. She was alive, burned by sun and salt, exhausted beyond words, and carrying a loss she would never fully leave behind. That is why Tami Oldham's story stays with people. She survived the hurricane, yes. But what really saved her was what she did after waking up alone.
If you want more real survival stories like this, subscribe.